Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Michigan Tech Esports. Today, our MTU Huskies League of Legends team is going to be taking on the University of Northern Iowa in the Playfly League. As always, I'm Aiden,
I'm John.
and we welcome you guys to a game that should hopefully be pretty good for our Huskies. So, moving on to the weekly schedule for this week, we got some exciting stuff coming up. So, we saw on Friday our Smash team 2-1 to BU, so a pretty nice victory for them there, and followed up by a 2-0 on Saturday. So, still riding that wave, still a lot of good stuff coming out from our Smash team. A presence to be feared among the Smash community with all these colleges here. Obviously, today on Monday, we're playing League of Legends versus University of Northern Iowa, trying to continue that hot streak we've had from the last 2 weeks of games.
And on Tuesday, we have Rocket League going against SH University. And of course, we have the Overwatch team on Wednesday going against AU University. And then, of course, the Valorant team, us, are going against another AU University. I think that's Auburn, if I'm not mistaken. You excited?
I am a little bit nervous. We got some big shoes to fill after what happened last week. Finally managed to get a win.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know doubters and despair everywhere. All my friends surprised we managed to take one home, but still overall a pretty good event to look forward to. The team we're going up against, I think, definitely harder than the team that we versed last week, but might have that possibility in there that we managed to take that one through. So hopefully you guys will tune in and join us for that one. Maybe look for our second win of the season.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so getting on to our player introductions for today, it's your same five Huskies that you know and love from the Michigan Tech League of Legends team. Your captain, Craftinator. Your mid lane, who is going to be Echo or Sunless. Your top lane, Griffin, as Music Tabs. Your jungle, Nug Tart, as Brandon, and your support as Cran or Erica.
And Northern Iowa, they have the captain Nink or Nicholas F. We have Biohazard 386 or Brianna B. And we have Malik Steele for Demetrius M. And Mr. Meowser for Joseph B. And Mr. C Claps for Nate Z.
Yeah, a lot of interesting names there. Sounds like stuff I would have came up with when I was making a Xbox gamer tag on the 360. So either fun names or some veteran gamers. So we'll see here. Might be a bit of a challenge for our league team here, but I mean I have faith in them obviously. So now we've done our individual player introductions. I want to talk about their performance from last week as well as the week before. So it seems like our league team has been on the up and up over the last couple of weeks, really getting that fundamental team play down, a lot less overextension that has been happening. We actually have seen some comps that make sense. We've seen Sunless running, the Avir last week after those changes that we talked about. Some stuff that lets us function as a cohesive unit. So what are you kind of looking for this week's game?
So we had some changes over the past couple weeks in patches and updates. It seems that more poke mages are more meta this week and recently. As Worlds is coming out, we've seen some off meta picks and some new picks come in, like Anivia mid has definitely taken a rise in recently.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for more of an aggressive game from Michigan Tech here. I want to see some brawl.
Yeah, definitely last week there was a lot of that coming out from Tech, and I think that it was very helpful in obtaining a lot of these advantages we go on. I think back to especially the second map that they played last week, or second game, I should say, that they played last week, where they kind of got the ball rolling by just a lot of those early team fights. And then it felt like when everybody's clicking, like all the team cohesiveness is there, we can't really lose these team fights unless we go for overextensions. I want to see a lot of good 3v1s as well. I felt like a lot of our power last week and the week before came from having, Brandon Nug rotate down that jungle down to that bottom lane. A lot of 3v2s in the bottom lane that we went for. That turned out in our favor. There was a lot of 2v1s in the top lane. We had a lot of good ganks last week. And I also just want to see Music Tabs continuing to absolutely fry in that top lane, because it feels like even if he's going down a couple times early, a lot of these situations that we've been able to win in are just because he's getting one or two massive picks in the top lane, which like put us up a man for an objective and stuff like that. So definitely want to see that continuing out of him.
I completely agree. I want to see also some vision gameplay here, some more moving around from our support Crayon, some catching people out. It seems that recently that we have kind of slacked on catching people out,
Yeah.
especially when they're really out of position. And then sometimes it leads to us being caught out of position when we're trying to chase too hard on that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see an improvement on that, and I'm hoping to see less tower dives from the team a little too aggressive can be
Yeah.
bad sometimes.
I think just taking a step backwards and, we're really good when it comes down to these team fights, but making sure that we put ourselves in a position where we start the team fights at an advantage. For example, one thing, if we're talking about things we want the Huskies to work on last week in the bottom lane, when we were playing Nautilus on support, there was a lot of times we would like miss our Nautilus hook and things like that, and we would
Hmm.
still fight as a team. And would end up not turning out in our favor because we're missing that entry power. And so there's nothing wrong with missing a skill shot like that, right? That
Hmm.
happens, but just having it in the back of our minds that like, okay, we tried to go for this entry, didn't work out, let's just back off instead of continuing to fight forwards, because if we're not in a disadvantaged situation, there's no reason to really put ourselves in one, I
Oh
should
yeah,
say.
and definitely disengaging from the objectives.
Hmm.
Sometimes you don't have to fight right after you take a dragon or the grubs or the herald. You can
Yeah.
just disengage and get out of there, and reap the benefits of getting that dragon instead of giving away all that lead that you have gotten from that.
Yeah, there were definitely a couple of times last week where we felt like we overcommitted a little bit there, but I also didn't feel like it was too bad because I feel like a lot of the times we were taking team fights after the Dragons, we would end up winning anyways. I guess we'll really have to see how that goes with a more powerful team, I guess, depending on the what type of teams that we're versing.
Hmm.
Because it felt like a lot of our success last week also come from teams overcommitting into us. Like they would lose a player trying to like snipe a dragon, and then the rest of the team would feel like, oh, we need to go for like a 4v5, and then one of them would get ISO'd. It's a 3v5, and Nug
Hmm.
or Echo or somebody like that just utterly stomps them and picks up a nice little 3K there. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Just we've done a good job with these team fights, done a good job playing as a team. Just a little bit more caution and thought process behind when we're going into attack certain objectives.
Yeah.
So looks like we're gonna get started with the pick and bans here. Can we confirm that Michigan Tech picked blue side because last time these were flipped? I'm just checking in here with production for the should be on our messaging app that our teams use to communicate with each other. Whoever won the coin flip is going to be picking in here. Just making sure that we have the right picks and bans here for you guys, because I know that last week that what was an issue. We got all the way through and we were in the middle of critiquing what the opponent had picked. Like,
Oh.
oh, I don't really think that's that good of an idea, and then they flipped, and it's like, oops. So obviously, it still turned out for us. So yeah, it looks like Michigan Tech is on. We have corrected it here. So Michigan Tech, I believe, is on red side, is what that means. Um,
Um,
if we are on the right side. So we'll see here. Gonna get that worked out for you guys. I guess we can just talk about while we wait. Okay, yeah, so Michigan Tech is on blue side. So sorry about the confusion, folks. Third time is the charm. It's like you're plugging a USB into the computer. Flip it once, doesn't work. Flip it again, doesn't work. And then you flip it back over, and then finally it plugs in. So getting into the picks and bans here for you guys. Michigan Tech going to be coming out with bans on Rumble, Jin, and Nocturne, with the University of Northern Iowa banning the Milio
yep.
and Jarvan.
Yeah.
So it looks like that Nocturne is going to be switched to a Gwen. So you're the person who knows about League. What does this mean for us?
So we're looking for more. I mean, we're banning out the poke. Jin has very long range capability. He's like a long range sniper.
Yeah.
And then the hyper carry of Gwen, who, if you give her too many kills, she will completely take over the match and destroy. And Rumble is just an all around good team fighter, so it's always a presence, whether he's down 4 kills or he's up 4 kills. He's just has that presence.
Yeah, not as dependent on snowballing, getting on a hot streak like that. And
Oh
then it
yeah.
looks like for University of Northern Iowa here, we have that Silas, Milio, and Jarvan. What does that mean for them?
Yeah, we're just trying to stop the dive. Jarvan and Silas are really good at starting a dive, going for
Yeah.
that back line. And as we've seen recently, is that they really like to go for our captain, Craftinator.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, maybe they're trying to stop Craftinator, like keep Craftinator in
Yeah,
the
keep him
game, but
contained.
also going from front to back.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're picking Braum here. It's a great support pick,
Yeah.
especially for Craftinator. Play some good peel, which is a great support to block damage and just soak up all of the
Yeah.
crowd control that he
Yeah.
will receive.
Be able to keep, other people in the lane alive. And then you and I picking into Skarner.
Hmm.
So I believe somebody did play him last time, but I do not remember what he does.
Yeah, he is a crowd control tank, and he tanks up a lot of damage, but also can forcibly moves people around the map and pushes them into walls and
Yeah.
stuns them, so they can't move or use any abilities.
Yeah. Smolder pick then out of Uni as well.
Late game hyper carry. All he has to do is just not die in lane for 20 minutes, and just get that stacks up. And once he hits 225 stacks, that's what we have to look out for, is when he's able to kill somebody before their health bar is actually at 0.
Oh, so yeah, Michigan Tech definitely want to make sure they pressure that early on, I guess, to make
Oh
sure
yeah.
that he doesn't get that going. Kog'Maw and Wukong for Michigan Tech here.
So more of a poke comp to keep Smolder behind,
Yeah,
especially Kog'Maw, who's got has his ult is off a like a 2-second cooldown,
yeah,
and it's like a big artillery barrage almost. And Wukong is a nice backline diver to keep Smolder in place and not flying away, because that's one of his abilities, because he's
yeah.
a dragon.
Make sure that he can't get away too easily. Seraphine pick here for you and I.
Yeah, that's a good sustain enchanter. Helps heals. Also has great crowd control, especially for Smolder, who can rely on people being stood still so he can hit those
Yeah,
stacks.
keeping them locked in place,
Oh
get
yeah.
get those stacks up, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Should be getting into the next couple bans here. Looks like it's gonna be a Dr. Mundo ban for you and I. Interesting to do that because we did see a very good Dr. Mundo game from Music Tabs last week in that second map when we were a little bit questionable because Michigan Tech picking into two common top laners there with that Aatrox and that Dr. Mundo, but we made it work.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps you and I are a little bit scared of what can happen when that gets into the wrong hands, or the right hands, I guess we should say, considering that we are the Huskies.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see here what the next ban coming out is. It's going to be a Karma ban from Michigan Tech. I don't know if I've seen that
Oh,
before.
a Nami ban.
Oh,
Interesting. They're banning Nami, even though
yeah,
it may have been a Seraphine support. So as another support ban for Michigan Tech. So it may be a useless ban in the
yeah,
long run, depending on what University of Iowa.
yeah. That, or potentially they've picked up on something, perhaps Uni running a off meta comp,
Mm-hmm.
as we so often like to do from when they were watching those VODs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So interesting. For some reason the phrase Nami ult is stuck in my head because I feel like every single time I watch a league, it's from that one Cadril clip
Oh.
of him commentating over the Valorant game when they harbor ult the site and he's like, "This guy just Nami ulted." That's why it's always stuck in my head. So Camille,
Camille and
if I
Orn.
pronounced that correctly, and Orn is the last couple of bans. Now that we have all the bans in here, what is Michigan Tech trying to go for as their overall ban? What do you think you and I is trying to go for as their overall ban?
Well, they've seen that Smolder pick, so I think they're going to try to lock down that backline dive here. So maybe looking at Aatrox is actually a pretty good pick here, but also a sustain mage. Maybe the Zir will work really well into this comp,
Yeah,
and maybe a Rise if Echo has picked up on some meta
yeah.
mid laners.
Is Smolder a mid laner then?
Smolder could be a mid laner, but usually he's played in the ADC. But it's a nice
Ah,
flex pick for the mid laner just to
yeah,
have more damage later
yeah.
game.
Yeah, I know Avir and Aatrox both what Echo played last time, so we
Hmm.
saw him do good on both of them. So, oh, the Yone? Are
Oh,
we going Yone? I always bring this up, but I remember at Gliak when he was looking up the Faker Yone highlights.
oh yeah,
That was
and
my
how to
first,
play them.
yeah, and how to play him as he
Yeah,
locks him in for the Gliak tournament. So,
that was awesome.
yeah. So Yone and Renekton. Do you mind
Yeah.
explaining what those two?
So I believe University of Illinois picked, or is it
Or
Iowa?
Iowa, Northern
Yeah,
Iowa.
picked Renekton first. So Yone is not a very good matchup into Renekton, but hopefully it's a lane mismatch.
Yeah,
Renekton has a lot of single target damage, but he also has a wide area ability that does a lot of damage and also heals him at the same time. His ult gives him more health and just boosted stats in general.
kind of like a arena ult.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
And Yon pick is just a nice crowd control, but also can have a hyper carry sort of game.
yeah,
So it does look like University of Iowa is going to actually be running the Seraphine mid lane. So if Sunless is actually playing Yone, he will have a little bit tough of a time because Seraphine has a lot of AoE and just Yone is just short range melee. So
yeah. So
can be
perhaps a
tough.
little bit tough, and they're going to be relying on perhaps Brandon, our jungler, to come and help him out sometimes.
Hmm.
So maybe leaving Music Tabs a little bit more alone in that top lane, so potentially not as many ganks we'd come see through. But I mean, I
Hmm.
have faith in them. And then we have the Volibear and the Alistair pick. And so now that we've seen everything, what do you think both of these comps are kind of gearing towards?
So the University of Iowa's team is looking for that late game. They have a lot of crowd control to keep
Yeah,
this Smolder away from getting hit by Michigan Tech's crowd control, of course.
yeah,
And it looks like Michigan Tech is running more of a backline dive to get rid of that smolder, but they're also picking more tankier side picks.
Yeah.
Not like they still do a lot of damage. They're not full tanks, but they're bruisers, so they will do a lot of damage and have a lot of crowd control when need be.
Yeah.
But they're looking to shut down that smolder and looking to have Craftinator to hyper carry the game with Kog'Maw.
Yeah. Well, if there's somebody that we're gonna put him on, let's have Craftmaker have his game. We've
Oh
seen
yeah.
the music tabs Mordekaiser. We've seen everybody else kind of have their pop up. Was it music tabs and Mordekaiser? It was in
Yeah,
the
it
top
was.
lane, no? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we've seen a lot of people have their like massive moments. Let's have Craft have one this game.
Yeah.
On that Kog'Maw. So I've got faith, is all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna wait here for them to get into the server for you guys. Just have not started the Pick and Bands in client yet, so probably still gonna be about 10 minutes until we get you guys into the action. So we're going to, first of all, give a shout out to our generous sponsors that make all of this possible. So first up is Houghton for Rent. So are you a tech student? Do you need to be close to campus? I know that I do. We have places for that. Find the perfect location. Live where you want to live. It's houghtonforrent.com. Once again, houghtonforrent.com. As well as University Images. That's where we get, swag like this. You could have your very own Michigan Tech Huskies, jersey, sweatshirt, whatever you want to rep your squad. So looking for a place to spice up your style? University Images is your official headquarters for authentic Michigan Tech merchandise. It is university owned, it is university operated, it's University Images located in the STC, or go to bookstore.mtu.edu. It's things like these that let us, have all of this available, give our athletes the opportunities to participate without having to shell out a lot of money. And so thank you again to all of our sponsors that make all of this possible. So, stuff going on around campus, because we do have a little bit of time to fill. I think the most notable one, what the heck is going on with Amazon Warehouse Services? Everything is broken, everything is dying. We're lucky that we have a game to be streamed to you guys on Twitch and YouTube today. So,
Oh, yeah.
don't exactly know what the issue was. I know that everybody at Amazon was kind of losing it, considering that half of the world relies on Amazon Warehouse Services. So that meant, Canvas was down, I think is the big one for Michigan Tech students. So all
Yeah.
of your due dates should be pushed back a day, according to the Dean of Students.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty scary. A lot of other stuff. I know for me personally, Reddit being down, massive L. Can't waste a couple hours scrolling videos, and then perhaps most detrimental, Clan Wars weren't working in Clash Royale.
Mm.
So definitely a lot
Mm-mm-mm.
of stuff there, really highlighting our dependence on AWS. But as tech students, I think Canvas was the most prominent one for all of us, considering that nobody could turn in their assignments. So I hope you didn't have any quizzes today, and if you did, I hope your teachers are accommodating. Good luck.
Oh. My teachers pushed back my exam by one day, so
Let's go. You got another 24 hours to play Val.
oh yeah.
Get ready for our game on
I'm
Thursday.
I'm going to be studying. I did a practice exam and was 80%, which is not good enough for me, in my
Hey,
opinion.
well, it's better than nothing.
Oh yeah.
Could be MT Super Electronic getting his math results back.
Oh.
So, not too badly though, of course.
What's your favorite class so far?
What's my favorite class?
Mm-hmm.
Recess.
Recess.
No.
Mine is nap time.
Yeah, nap time is pretty great. That's from 5 in the morning to 4 p.m. every day for me.
Oh yeah.
So, gotta love nap time. No, in all seriousness, for me, probably right now, 1142 hardware software interfaces. I love the professor, Dr. Burton. I do research with him for the university. So, pretty interesting class, learning about a little bit of assembly, a little bit of C. So, really dabbling my fingers into those lower level languages, because I've only worked with C# for what, 9 years now, but that's a pretty
Oh.
high level language. So, uh, it's a little bit harder when I can't just tab autocomplete in Visual Studio. But learning how the computer works at the lower level is pretty interesting.
Okay.
So what about you? What's yours?
Mine right now. I I don't have one, to be honest. This one's just a brutal semester.
Yeah.
Last semester I took a brewing class.
A brewing class?
A brewing class,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
As chemistry and biology of brewing. So you of course learn all about how you make the beer. But
Yeah.
then towards the end of the year you made your own, so that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. I think next semester I've got a science fiction class lined up that I'm pretty excited for. Because I
Oh.
play a lot of video games, but I actually do know how to read, so kind of a walking contradiction right there.
Read.
Yeah, reading. Whew, who does that? So Guess other stuff going around on campus. The Husky Game Jam for Husky Game Dev is currently open. It's our logo right there. So
Oh,
if you are looking to even just dabble a little bit in game development, this Game Jam is open to all skill groups. We have, the Husky Games Discord server where you can look for advice, ask for help, find people to team up with. That's running, I think, for a little bit under another week. And if you get first place, you get a new gaming monitor.
no.
So pretty cool. So
You
I'd
should.
recommend joining that. I'm not because I'm super busy,
Oh,
but I mean, obviously we know that I'd win if I
oh,
joined. So it's more of a, you know, just why not let somebody else win for a change? Even though I lost last year,
yeah.
but that was just a
What'd you get?
fluke.
Like seventh place or
Out of sixth, yeah,
out of six?
yeah.
Seventh
So
place out
I,
of
I
six.
lost extra points for submitting late. So, but
Oh,
hey, that's okay because it's the effort that counts.
yeah.
Yeah,
I played your game.
you played my game.
No,
Unlucky. Oh, I was about to
I've
say.
seen videos of it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not play this game. Like clickbait YouTube thumbnail.
Yep.
3 exclamation marks.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see, baby. Anything else going on campus think that's noticeable? They
Mm,
finally turned on the brightness on the Rosa sign. That was
yeah.
nice last week.
Awesome.
Didn't like getting flashbanged every single time I looked out my window. Felt like I was playing CS like 24/7. But
They I think in downtown Houghton they had like a trick or treat thing going on.
when?
Saturday, I think. I have no clue.
Saturday
I didn't go to downtown Houghton, but
with like the parade.
I think so.
That was a No Kings protest.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, gotcha.
but
All I
I mean, hey,
saw
there
was
were there were some costumes. That was pretty cool.
all I saw was a sign that said like trick or treat like on the street or something like that.
Yeah.
Like at 4 p.m.
Maybe it was that, but the only event that I have in my recollection was that. So, um, what else is going on around campus? Because we are still waiting for them to get in here. League of Legends not known for its fast-paced matchmaking.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know. They get like what, like
30
30
seconds.
seconds to
They,
pick
they they pick and ban them in a
each.
completely different client, and then they go back into League and do it again. And it takes like 5 minutes. Then we gotta wait for spectator delay. Then we gotta wait for Riot Games to like get their stuff together.
Yeah,
So
I was playing a game earlier of League of Legends, and since AWS kind of helps out Riot Games a bit, it was struggling to load into matches.
yeah.
So I sat there for 10 minutes trying to load into a match.
Yeah. All right. Looks like we got updated info here. The Halloween thing was from Walmart, so you were right. So there was that
Oh,
protest, but that was mixing up my head. I did not know that there was another event going on here. So keep that in mind for next week, because trick or treating. I might be a little bit too old now, but
you're gonna wear a costume?
am I gonna wear a costume?
Hmm.
Ooh, who should I dress up as?
You should dress up as Jet from Valorant.
Only if you'll be my Phoenix.
Nope. I don't
Unlucky.
think that would be
Unlucky.
correct to do.
Yeah.
As a PR training, I don't think I should dress up as that character.
Oh, that's true. You can do ISO then. It would fit you anyways. So.
All right, bro.
Anything else going on? This is taking a longer than usual. I'm having to rack my head for.
I think they like got into like the pick bands like 2 minutes ago, and
Yeah.
we were waiting for like 10.
Yeah. So we apologize for the delay for everybody at home.
Who's your favorite character right now in League?
In League of Legends.
From watching
Who's
from
this?
casting
From
every week.
casting.
Yeah.
I mean Mordekaiser was pretty cool because that's like the coolest play we've seen. I think my favorite League of Legends character would be like Ari from like all time.
Why is that?
Because I was introduced to it a long time ago. Before I actually knew about League because of the KDA music videos that Riot put out.
Oh.
We always say that Riot is a music video and animation company that makes really bad games.
That is true.
So, but their music and their animation is really good. So that's how I never had played League, but I always watched all the League cinematics and stuff like that. Still have the League of Legends World Anthems on my playlist for working out. So, Legends Never Die, baby. That what was that? 2017.
I think so.
I like that song a lot. So.
You should sing us a KDA song, right, for us.
I don't think so. I think that I am that would violate the things that we're not allowed to do on stream. One of which is embarrassing the school.
Oh.
So unfortunately, we will have to say no to that. But maybe later, after we get out of this. We are waiting for spectator delay. Looks like a minute 30. So should get you guys into the action soon. You can hear us stop yapping about this, start talking about the actual game, which is what we're here to do. Hopefully this hasn't been too unbearable for you guys though. So what else is going on at Michigan Tech? It's gonna turn gray soon for 8 months.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Looking at leaves, the leaves were nice,
I like Leaves.
and
They've been falling.
I watched the Michigan Tech Huskies get absolutely destroyed in football on Friday or Saturday.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it was very sad.
I know the football team's like, I wish I could be the league team, bro. I know our football players look up to our league players.
Yeah, but Ferris State has been kind of destroying the GLIAC league recently. So.
Yeah, wasn't that who we lost to at GLIAC last year?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Valorant? Yeah, that was unlucky.
Not my fault, but
I know that Val team last year. Everybody on that team was horrible, obviously.
yeah,
Because neither you or I played on that, like
yeah,
clearly.
clearly.
So definitely not M2 Super Electronic going 5-23 on Abyss.
Oh yeah, definitely didn't drive like 8 hours to play one singular game and lose.
Hey, we got to go to B Dubs though.
Yeah, that's true.
So there are worse things in the world, I suppose.
And we just gotta sit around and watch people play games for 8 hours for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we did have hockey come up, right? We had the hockey game against Alaska. I think we went 1-1. We won one of our hockey games, lost one of our hockey games. So
I believe so. I believe so.
yeah. Well, if the one that we lost was a game last week, then I suppose our Val team is doing better than our hockey team in the last week at least. So
Yeah. As of 2 weeks, yeah, we are 1-1.
Michigan Tech Valorant. Let's go, baby. All right, getting you guys in here. I can see that the client has finally loaded. We are spawning our characters in. It will be just a couple of seconds. Thank you for being patient with us as we desperately try to grasp at straws for what to talk about on the broadcast because we did not prepare 30 minutes of material to yap about. Because we did not expect it to take that long for us to go through the pick and bans. So, finally getting in here. Michigan Tech going to be on blue team as we had talked about. Getting into the action, all 5 of us together, so potentially looking for an early invade, something that we have enjoyed doing over the last couple of times. Onto Biohazard here, a little bit of damage, but no, Michigan Tech gonna back off.
And a flash coming in from Skarner to get away. Looks like they're chasing a bit.
Flash out in the first 30 seconds there, that's pretty important, I think. I'm not that familiar with how the cooldown timings affect things that are going on, but all of Michigan Tech grouping up there, potentially looking for a little Clash of Clans at the beginning, but deciding to fall off, not make anything of it. So, minions spawning in here, just a little bit of normal stuff. Looks like we're going to be getting our broadcast up here so that we can see what's on the mini-map, because we do have to cover that mini-map with our ad reads just to prevent people from watching the stream doing a little bit of unfortunate cheating, which obviously they never would because, league players very honorable. But just waiting here, no real poke and prod going on, neither team deciding to go for any big fights, just letting the beginning of the game play out as it should.
All right, so it seems like we have a little bit of different names than what I've read out for the
Some
here.
outdated information that we had from Playfly. So that's just the unfortunate truth of it, though. I think that once you sign up for the league, it does not update the names throughout the season, because I know some of our names show up differently on Playfly than they do when we get into the actual clients. So it's like it is going to be that Seraphine mid lane, as you had talked about, though. So interesting matchup going on there. A little bit of a brawl here in the top lane by Music Tabs and Muffin Trooper. A good stun, but Michigan Tech not exactly wanting to go for that tower dive. Not nearly low enough health on Muffin Trooper, as we had talked about. So,
And if you looked at the jungle a little bit back, like a couple seconds, there was a nice ward from our team in their red side jungle. As you can see, we can't see, but there is a ward currently now on the Raptors.
Yeah.
Which is a great vision, especially because Skarner had a flash away from that side earlier. And especially since he's going to be making his way there now, we might see a move from Michigan Tech to catch him out on that.
Yeah, Flash still only halfway through getting recharged from him, so definitely could do a little bit of a catch out there. Looks like a little bit of poking and prodding here in the top lane. Michigan Tech has lost a tiny bit of ground when it comes to how far we are committed up in that top lane, but not exactly worried for my GOAT Music Tabs up there. We know exactly how good he can be when it matters, so poking and prodding here in the bottom lane as well. While we are here, how do we see how many stacks that the, what is it, Inferno has?
Oh, Smolder?
Yeah, Smolder.
We'd have to click on his character or have like an overview come up.
And so does that reset when he dies?
No, it stacks out throughout the game, so any ability he uses is going to be a stack.
Oh, a good first blood from Michigan
Ooh.
Tech there. Camera just popped to it, so sorry that we kind of missed the commentating on that, but that is going to be a first blood for, I believe, music tabs there in that top lane. So a little bit of top lane pressure, perhaps a little bit of overextension from Muffin Trooper. Forgive the pun, but bit off more than he could chew. But yeah, so Michigan Tech now only 2 kills away from getting that first feat online.
Nice.
Have to look for who gets that first tower and those first 3 objectives, but
Teleport coming in from Renekton.
yeah, why
Or
don't just
Muffin Trooper.
head back
And
to that top lane.
of course, Mr. Music Tabs had to use Flash for that kill, so
Yeah,
keep
so
an eye out for an aggression from Renekton here.
yeah, we'll not have that back online, but hopefully we got Echo as support. So it looks like, was that ward cleared out that we had placed?
Yeah, it ran out of time. It looks
Yeah.
like in the top jungle right now, our Wukong is trying to fight for the Scuttle Crab.
Oh yeah, wait, a 2v1 on Nug here. That's going to be the Renekton as well as Biohazard on the, what was it? Well, what's that guy's name?
Oh, Muffin Trooper?
No, Muffin Trooper's the Renekton.
Oh, Renekton, yes.
Biohazard is on who?
Skarner.
Oh yeah, Skarner. Forgive my lack of league knowledge.
It's all good.
A little bit of a fight in the... Ooh, Sunless taking a decent bit of damage there. Going to be forced to dash. I'm assuming that's a character ability, but no. Okay, there's the flash coming out, and escapes just barely on a sliver of HP. Iowa not really wanting to go for the dive onto that tower there, so not going to sustain that kill, but that's probably going to need to be a channel back for, from Sunless here to heal back up. So giving away a little bit of that mid lane pressure. We do have a Nug hanging out there a little bit, so not going to lose too much of that space. But
that is truly unlucky for you and I. They ignited Sunless thinking that it would kill him, so
yeah,
that's why they didn't go for a tower dive. They assumed it would take enough damage to kill.
yeah, but just barely surviving that on a sliver of HP. So now it's going to be Michigan Tech looking over at this first dragon. So perhaps getting this under our belt will be good. We can see here the 2 members of UNI gearing up, though, perhaps wanting to counter this dragon. It's going to be a good ability dodge from Crafter there, perhaps just a little bit too far away from the smolder there for UNI when that ability was used. Does not look like they're going to be going for a Dragon Steel. Michigan Tech going to be able to get this health unless Daily Llama? No, just going to be placing down vision, perhaps not realizing that Michigan Tech was there. So that is going to be Chemtech Drake picked up for Michigan Tech. You mind explaining for us what Chemtech buff does?
Gives the team who gets it a little extra tenacity and some shield and heal power.
Yeah.
It's just a good early dragon to give early buffs and keep it from Alistar actually shutting down Craftinator for too long.
Yeah, so good little thing to get rolling there for Michigan Tech at the beginning, help prevent a little bit of that late game scaling as we had talked about on those characters like Smolder for you and I. A little bit of a fight going on here in the bottom lane is a 2v2 with Craftinator and Cran. Daily Llama going to be stunned up, but stunned up again actually, having a little bit of trouble escaping here. Cran is going to be pushing, but Craftinator is going to be on half HP, and we're going to go to the top lane where Muffin Trooper is also getting stunned up by Craftinator. Every single person from UNI feels like being attacked by Michigan Tech right now. Michigan Tech not opting to go for that tower dive in the top lane, but some cool visual thing from Sunless there. It looks like a chamber TP, or the equivalent, being able to, or no, a waylay refract. Being able to go back to the position, looks like where you casted that from. Not exactly familiar with how that ability works, but going in for the dive here now, still Jinx, although not Jinx, going to be coming away with that health advantage, so Sunless not exactly wanting to push. Yone just going to be backing off there in that mid lane. A little bit of damage here, just farming up the jungle mobs. Daily Llama potentially not realizing he's walking into a 2v1. Someone's going to be rotating to make this a 3v1, but Nugtart staying exactly on top of Daily Llama, knocked up and absolutely shut down. What was that coming out from? Was that a lack of vision? Just not realizing that he was walking into 3? Michigan Tech in the wrong side, on the red side jungle there, but what do you think? Why do you think he did that?
Well, I don't think the Alistar really expected that vision on that blue buff from Michigan Tech. And he was going in there to either put some vision down for their Skarner or do something to get a better positioning on the bot lane, and didn't expect himself to get caught out like that.
Yeah, so a pretty big misstep, I'd say, coming out. Michigan Tech now only 1 away from getting that first feat online. Is that feat of warfare for those first 3 kills there. So Michigan Tech also with some pretty good damage on the tier 1 towers in both the top lane and the bottom lane. So I'd say we are comfortably in the lead here, although a gank coming in on Music Tabs. Biohazard going to be stunned up, but Music Tabs also going to be knocked back onto half HP. He's just getting completely shut down. The rotator from our jungle. Biohazard going to be slain. That's going to be the feat of warfare claimed for Michigan Tech. Muffin Trooper flashing away, trying to get onto that tower, but a good, I believe that was an ult coming out from Sunless there to be able to shut him down. The double kill for Michigan Tech and a 4-0 kill lead, a 300 or 3,000 gold lead as well. I like that a lot. I think that was good coordination from Michigan Tech there, having Sunless rotate up from that mid lane, that ult securing the kill there. I do not know what that ult does, but I did see the circle disappear on the left. So
Yeah, it's a nice little dash ult. It moves them to a certain spot if he does hit them. But of course, this play was really well planned out because they also got the grubs there, which is
oh
a
yeah,
huge buff for the team. Gives extra damage to towers, which is what everyone's going for throughout this game.
yeah. So are we now one away from getting the 3 objectives online?
Yes, we are currently one away.
Because that's Dragon and Void Grubs we have secured.
Yes, sir.
All right, so a little bit of a 2v1 here in the bottom lane. Craftinator going to be, looks like Cran had flashed back, or channeled back to base, excuse me. A little bit of a 2v1 coming in here now. Craftinator trying to run away, brought down to half HP. Daily Llama going to be stunning him up though, so good little pull from the Smolder there. Craftinator trying to rotate down to support, but Daily Llama doing a good job of staying on top of him. But here's Cran rotating in. A miss on whatever that was, but Daily Llama now going to be brought down to a low amount of HP. A good push in there from Cran, going to be blocking with that Braum shield. This is a huge shutdown. Cran going to be slaying the Smolder, and Daily Llama trying to scamper away on 1 HP, but it's going to be a double kill for Cran, showing that she can have just as much value, if not more, as any of our fighting champions, despite the fact that she is currently on that Braum. I want to applaud that play, that ability to get in there on the Braum. That shield goes up, and all of a sudden, in that bottom lane, Craftinator taking no damage whatsoever. That was perfect placement, at least to my unskilled eyes who have not played League, of just soaking up that damage, making sure that Craftinator can continue getting that damage, or that poke damage in onto the ADC in the bottom lane there from UNI, and then she just uses that flash to be able to shut down the 2 once they've taken all that damage and they're trying to rotate away.
Oh yeah, it was very well played. A little bit of a mistake from both the Smolder and the Alistar.
Overextending.
Yeah, especially when they don't have that vision in that bush. They didn't see Crayon coming in for that save. It was also great kiting or movement by Craftinator to even get to that spot because it didn't look very good at that moment.
When she went in there, was that a flash to get in there with the shield, or was that a like dash ability that she has?
So she does. I think she did use flash, but there's also a dash ability which goes to your nearest opponent, not opponent, your teammate, and gives them extra armor and magic resist, which means they take less damage, of course.
Yeah, and is that a Braum ability?
Yeah, that's just his W ability or one of his just basic abilities.
Cool. So a little bit of a fight here in the top lane, also from Music Tabs onto the top laner from Michigan Tech. So that is going to be a 6-0 kill lead now for us. This is Music Tabs with the tower dive. I'm not sure I like going in that hard, but Sunless also going to be doing good damage here onto the Seraphine in that mid lane. Another tower dive going to be going back, and this is blue team now slaying the Cloud Drake. So does this count as 3 objectives for us?
Yep, that is boots for us.
Yeah, boots for us, and it's going to be Mountains Rise. Is that?
That's gonna be
what
Mountain
Drake
Drake.
is that called? Mountain Drake.
Mountain Drake.
And what kind of soul does that provide if we do manage to get 4?
So if we Michigan Tech does eventually get it, because I know they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You get extra shield, and I'm pretty sure extra armor and magic resist, so less damage.
Yeah.
And more shield. And a shield, of course, makes it so that your health doesn't dwindle, and it just gives you extra health, quote unquote, to work with.
Very nice. So a little bit of falling back into a rhythm here as we go down into this bottom. It looks like Craftinator and Cran do potentially want to get a little bit active. You can see how much they want to do this damage to these towers, but I want to point out there is that little bit of a level disparity here right now with Michigan Tech's being up a level for that bot lane down there, with Craftinator being on level 9. Our Kog'Maw?
Kog'Maw, yeah.
Kog'Maw. So definitely wanting to do a little bit of that port. It is going, yeah, that smolder is still going to be on level 8. So Michigan Tech getting this tower almost to half HP. Turret, our plating will be falling in about a minute. So, but this is the, looks like mid lane here? No.
Skarner coming
Yeah,
in.
Skarner coming down, so potentially making this a 3v1 in the favor, or 3v2 in the favor of Unai. Potentially a 3v1 with how much Kran is being suppressed, carried back here by Biohazard, and is going to be shut down. But it is going to be Craftinator trading back, turning it back into a 2v2 with the rotate down from our jungle. Nugtart going to be massive damage there onto the Smolder for UNI, and this is going to be Michigan Tech. Not exactly wanting to go for that tower dive there. Was that a uh, Biohazard's ult that secured the
Yeah.
kill on Kran that kind of dragged her backwards there
Yeah.
towards the tower?
Yeah. So
Good ult
it
placement.
grabs them and just makes them so they can't use their abilities, and you can just move them anywhere you want.
Yeah.
I actually think that was a mistake from you and
Oh,
I.
wait, big. And that is just,
Ooh.
looks like, was that a Yone ult to
Yep.
int there? And then just that TP back. So this is going to be good tower damage for their side of Michigan Tech. And this is Echo going for a solo play as we spoke. A very good play, I'd say. And this is, let's see, Daily Llama just wanting to punish how much damage that Echo is under their tower, but still going to be getting good damage there for Michigan Tech. Music Tabs, you can see how much he wants to take this tower down in that top lane. So turret plating falling off here at the 14-minute mark, so no opportunity to earn gold there, but I'm not exactly sure Michigan Tech is going to be fussed about that, considering that they are ahead by over 5k in that gold lead. This early on in the game is very significant, so you can see how much Music Tabs want to take down this tower, wants to get the damage onto the tower, potentially sacrificing for the tower, and it is going to be blue team Michigan Tech taking that first turret. A little bit of brawl continuing, but Kran and Crafton are going for a 2v1 in this bottom lane. Good stun from Kran out here, and that is just going to be smoldered, looking like they took their hands off the keyboard with how much CC they were locked down by there. Looking here for this 2v1 in the bottom lane. Don't keep in mind that play is going on in the top lane there, but looks like UNI just going to have their laner there just fall back. The support there going to be falling back, waiting for their smolder to come back in. So 9-1 now for Michigan Tech, over a 7k gold lead, extended already from when I spoke about that a minute ago. So things fall once again back into a rhythm here, but this is Michigan Tech with a dominant opening. Rift Herald spawning in, so good shield there from Kren. Not exactly sure what that shield was for, but hey, we take it. A little bit of, looks like Michigan Tech wanting to get that Rift Herald up so that they can have that to attack potentially the mid lane tower, considering that's the one I think that has the least amount of damage on it so far. So yeah, Michigan Tech going to be taking the Rift Herald there very quickly. 9k gold lead for us now. This is going to be Michigan Tech with that, once again, as I had said, very strong advantage at the 15.5-minute mark. So a little bit of a fight going on here. Looks like Kran and Craftinator fighting in the mid lane. We have swapped our laners, it appears. Sunless going to be in that, the Yone ult inting in there. Jinx going to be brought down to low HP, but this is, yep, Sunless going to be taking down the Seraphine for the side of UNI. Sunless at low HP. Spectator camera not exactly allowing us to see what's going on there, but this is a good lane swap for Michigan Tech if Echo can stay alive. That was a good kill. Good use of the Yone ult there to do that damage, get that kill before the bottom lane there for UNI could rotate in. This is also going to be Sunless trying to do turret dive biohazard here. That, oh, it's going to be a good knock up, and he's going to be getting it back. Going to use the Yone there, really showcasing the value of that TP. There have been so many times where he ints into these tower dives where he's under intense pressure to get the kill and get out as quickly as possible, and that ability really comes to fruition. It seems like UNI not ready for how much aggression that Sunless is showing with that Yone pick. Not exactly thinking that he'll be the in this scenario to go for a tower dive, but does it anyways, has that TP to get out, and just ends up not getting punished for it. Another dragon spawning on there. So a little bit of a 3v1 here for the side of UNI on Team Music Tabs, potentially a little bit of an overextension into the enemy jungle for him. So maybe not having vision there, not realizing that he was walking into kind of a trap play, but hopefully won't come back to bite us, considering that we are up by almost 10k gold and are about to get this Mountain Drake, it appears. Our support rotating in as well to make this a 3v1 onto the Drake, so not exactly the worst thing in the world. They're getting 3 dragons online before the opposing side gets any.
That was actually a mistake by UNI, in my opinion, because
Going for the fight instead of the dragon.
yeah, and also because Volibear had a shutdown, which is extra gold when killed, and our support and their UNI support unfortunately got that shutdown gold.
Yeah.
Especially with the Smolder, who is super behind right now by
Level
50 minion kills.
Yeah.
It's detrimental, I would say.
Not doing good enough gold allocation there onto the wrong person.
Especially because they also gave up the dragon, and now Michigan Tech are at Soul Point, which
Yeah,
means if
one
they get
more.
this next one, they get that big buff.
Yeah, so not exactly the greatest shining for UNI here, but ooh, good Yone ult in there from Sunless, knocking up Jinx once again up into the air. She's going to be able to retreat. So not exactly as detrimental as the times that it had gone before, but Echo really seems to just be on a tear here, just having his way, just brawling with that Yone. And this is a 4v1 in the top lane for Michigan Tech on to Muffin Trooper. They want that tier 2 turret in the top lane. This is Sunless also in a 2v1 in the bottom lane, but look how low his opponents are. He's going to get the first kill. Can he get the second? You can see how badly he wants to int into this. In that bottom lane there, Sunless on a rampage. Yep, with that kill onto Seraphine. This is now 2 members dead for the side of UNI. 20-second respawn before, and this is going to be tier 3 turret in the top lane. Going down for the side of Michigan Tech. Biohazard going to get knocked up, unable to do anything. This Michigan Tech, absolutely. Do they want to end the game right here? They're going to be onto that inhibitor here. Inhibitor going to be going down. Craftinator with that destroy. The Rift Herald is still alive for the side of Michigan Tech here. Nobody dead on the side of MTU as well. This is 2 people now still dead for the side of UNI. Seraphine going to be respawning here, but still Biohazard going to be down for another 10 seconds. Michigan Tech opting to just bide their time, back off, not exactly wanting to overcommit, so not going for a game end just yet, but a very good pressure there in that top lane with our Yone in the bottom lane really taking that 2v1 pressure, giving us that 3v1 or 3v2 in the top lane. It's going to be Nug slaying Muffin Trooper there, just continuing the streak of Rampage. Tier 2 mid lane turret going to be destroyed for the side of UNI, so this is Michigan Tech with good damage all around the map. Explain to me, because you know what League of Legends is, how they planned out that top lane assault and why that was a good play.
So yeah, they saw that Sunless was taking around 2 people, the Seraphine and I think it was the Alistar. So that's not a lot of CC, and they also teamed up on the top lane to get rid of that Renekton.
Yeah.
So they had a lopsided 4 people compared to the 2 that they could have brought. So they decided to take the entirety of top lane with that Rift Herald because it does substantial damage to towers when he rams into those turrets.
Yeah, so my question for you then as well is, we had Sunless in that bottom lane with the 2v1 on Yone. He wasn't able to get the kill onto Jinx, but was able to kill the other person in the bottom lane. I believe it was the Smolder. I want to say, do you think that that play was a gamble, or do you think that was a good play coming out from us, considering how over-leveled we are compared to where they are?
See, I think that was a great play by Sunless because the level disparity between him and all the other team, he is currently 6 levels ahead of their lowest level player and 3 levels away.
Yeah.
Ooh, looks like
So, oh,
Muffin Trooper left
yeah,
the
Muffin
game.
Trooper, potentially.
Oh.
Oh, okay, reconnecting. So it was just a riot issue, not a mental issue. Music tab is going to be getting that Slay onto the Jinx there. Looks like Yone going to be shutting down both the Biohazard and Daily Llama here for the side of UNI, and this is potentially UNI on their last legs, going to be destroying these inhibitors very quickly. I believe those are inhibitors.
Yep.
Yep, inhibitors. Okay, so League of Legends knowledge not exactly failing me, but good damage here from Michigan Tech. This is 4 people dead on the side of UNI. Looks like Smolder going to be the last one to fall. That is going to be a bit of a respawn there, but it's not going to matter because this is Michigan Tech. Can't even have the enthusiasm in my voice considering how much of a dominant first game this was out of our Michigan Tech Huskies. Doing the damage onto right there, Sunless securing his last kill. Team wanted to give it to him before they finally go for the kill onto the Nexus. So that is going to be a great first match there from our Michigan Tech Huskies. We hope that you guys enjoyed that just as much as we did. Just 21 minutes and 39 seconds of playtime. Kind of matching our games last week in terms of how long that we were up for. So very dominant, very good game here for the side of Michigan Tech. Liked a lot of what I saw. I liked Sunless having a lot of impact there in that bottom lane. We're going to go to a short intermission for you guys, and as soon as we get back, we will break down what we saw for the side of Michigan Tech there and get you guys ready and loaded up into that second match. So see you in a few. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that brief break there. We're going to be getting right back into it, waiting for their second round of pick and band, as well as breaking down what we saw last game. Do want to just let you guys know that we do have access to YouTube chat now, and so if there's anything you want us to know, make sure you put it in there. Keep it appropriate, please. All we really have to say about that. We will also be about 2 to 3 minutes late responding to your chat messages because of spectator delay. But apart from that, last game. MVP for me. I might be going for Sunless this time. I think that I was a little bit hesitant about the Yone pick because, as you had said, I'm not that well versed in League, but you had made it sound like the matchup wasn't exactly favorable no matter who they picked as their mid laner. But I think that we saw a lot of really good value out of it, whether that was because he was actually getting good value or because he was going up against potentially a weaker mid laner. It really just seemed like UNI wasn't prepared for the level of aggression coming out from his Yone. There were a lot of times we saw him just inting with that Yone ult, knock him back, get in front of them, they're down to half HP, knock him up in the air, and they're immediately shut down, have that TP back, just not able to get punished for it. So just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and who would your MVP be for that map?
I either gotta go for Crayon or Sunless here.
Yeah.
Sunless definitely has a hard early game, but especially those 1 or 2 kills, he snowballs out of the game and just
Yeah.
absolutely destroys.
Yeah.
But Crayon absolutely locked down that Smolder and made sure Smolder could not play that game.
Yeah.
And honestly, I gotta hand it to Michigan Tech because they just made it look like Northern Iowa was just not playing the game.
Yeah. Hands
Just
off the keyboards, feet on the desk.
as you saw, someone left the game. I don't.
Yeah.
It may have been internet, but I'm thinking
Yeah.
mental anger.
You
there.
can only get shut down so many times before you're like, okay, I'm not exactly having this. Reminds me of a Game Zone rank sesh, just
Oh.
permanent 4v5.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, like you said, I think the other one in contention for MVP would be Cran, like you had said. Last week, she was doing pretty well, but there were a lot of missed skill shots, stuff like that. But this week, just so far, at least on that first game, just really good plays with the Brum. They were getting in position to, tank those shots for the team. I think, especially with what happened in the bottom lane there when Kraft had been running away, we've been talking about good kiting into her, and then she just blocked every single shot, flashes, secures 2 kills, and it's like, what the heck just happened? Well, she got 2 kills, on support, which, while not being unheard of, still very impressive there, especially considering that we were in a 1v2 for a lot of that. So.
Oh, yeah. I honestly just think that was University of Northern Iowa's game to lose. They did, honestly, not being too harsh, they did everything wrong there, in my opinion. They didn't play for Smolder. They left him on an island all by himself, even
Yeah.
though both Crayon and Craftinator were pressuring him under tower. He can't get his stacks like that. He has to last hit the minions with his abilities.
Yeah.
And of course, the Renekton just lost his lead early on. He had that nice farm lead. He had a nice little tower push. And of course, Music Tabs took advantage of just a weak side and just absolutely obliterated. And then they let go of way too many objectives.
Yeah. No,
Ex-
just letting MTU farm up those dragons.
Especially that first dragon. They had four people on the bot side. Iowa did, and they just didn't commit.
Yeah.
And when Nugtart, both and Crayon and Craft were there, just out in the open, just ready to be taken. Especially because they were on enemy team's vision.
Yeah, they knew that they were there, and they just either just playing scared, not feeling like they had the wherewith, the ability to go in for that objective fight. Don't really know. But overall, I think very good showing there for Michigan Tech. We haven't asked what is our favorite ice cream flavor. Why don't you go first?
Oh, my favorite ice cream flavor. It has to be the one that I had at McLean. It was called like Pirate's Treasure or something. It had like graham crackers, M&Ms, and I think it was caramel ice cream.
Oh heck
That was
yeah,
fire.
yeah. I think mine would be a green tea. Any are from the Ann Arbor area with Blank Slate, I love their green tea ice cream.
Yeah.
It's very very good. So
You didn't take me there when we went over to Ann Arbor with
I should have. I
David.
should have. Next time over the summer, I'll take you there and we can get some ice cream together. So just want to give a shout out also to the Silas from Goodish. Wanting that in the chat. Obviously, the carry every single time he plays. Every to be expected.
Yeah,
So
we played in a tournament yesterday. It's called Clash. It's a nice little public tournament that League of Legends host, and he played Silas, and I wouldn't say he was too great at it.
Yeah,
And I can't read some of these.
I know.
But
Yeah,
Seth, I can hear Keegan. I can. But I do think Iowa needs to clean up on their team play,
yeah,
especially with their ADC. If they're gonna pick that hyper carry ADC, they gotta play for the hyper carry ADC.
yeah.
And uh, honestly, the Skarner pick was a great pick, but I just saw the Skarner just in the bushes, just taking camps the entire time,
Yeah,
doing really nothing.
just camping the entire time, just taking a little nap while our jungle's farming up, going for some good 2v1s in that top lane. So not exactly too bad, like we said. Huskies with a very strong showing there. Want to see that following up in the second map here. So if there are things that I'm looking for the Huskies to clean up in that second map, I'd say the biggest one for me is considering that we do Fearless Draft Michigan Tech. We cannot put Echo on Yone anymore. And so I am a little bit worried about a lot of that aggression from last map still, sticking in the head there. And so I want to be able to see that step back, temper that aggression as we get into things here. So looks like Michigan Tech now going to be on red team, going out with those bans of Rumble and Gwen again. I've half forgotten exactly why they would ban into that, but we also are seeing the Jarvan and Silas on the side of UNI. I do remember that Silas steals ults. That is the League of Legends thing I learned last week.
Oh, very nice.
So
Yeah, and somehow Goodish or Raymond in the chat doesn't know how to use any of them. So
yeah,
it's very awkward watching.
yeah, but that's okay. Everybody's learning. It takes a
Yeah.
while to learn League. Nautilus ban here for the side of UNI. So potentially recognizing second map last week, Erica or Cran did go Nautilus. So Michigan Tech potentially being a little bit worried about, or sorry, UNI potentially being a little bit worried about Michigan Tech picking back up into that. Didn't have exactly that much value in my opinion last week, so I wouldn't have been that worried about it, but I've also never played the video game, so UNI potentially picking up on something that they just don't want to have to go up and face. Also going to be that Ari pick there for the side of Michigan Tech. I know that Ari is an enchanter, but why exactly do you think they're banning into her?
The quick movement and just like the fast abilities, and also the CC is just out of control
Yeah.
because the low cooldowns she has. And it looks like they first picked Ornn on the side of UNI. Great sustain. He's armor or magic resist building tank, so not a lot of health, but a lot of resist, so it makes the health feel like 8,000 health.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's the Mordekaiser. That's my goat right there. Probably going to be being played on music tabs again in that top lane. I want to see another music tabs 1v3. I want to see a shutdown from that Mordekaiser up there. We know how good he can be, Michigan Tech, if we are feeling themselves. For a reminder for you guys at home, Mordekaiser's ult is basically just locking himself in a 1v1 with whoever he has targeted, and also gains some stats from that person depending on what level they are and what character they are playing. And so if he's feeling himself like he was last game, this could potentially be a very big pick for the side of Michigan Tech. But I am just mostly excited because of that 1v3 we had 2 weeks ago. So I feel like it's going to be the Kasai. How do you pronounce that?
It's Kaisa.
Kaisa.
Yeah.
Good to know. Kaisa on the side of UNI, as well as the Milio pick there for Michigan Tech.
Yeah.
Why are we picking into those?
So Melio gives an extra range for your ADC. It also gives heals and shields, and of course Lucian's gonna come along with that because Lucian and Melio have, in my opinion, the best synergy in the ADC area.
Yeah.
For that, and it's gonna be followed up with the Kaisa Nami pick. In my opinion, it's not as good as Lucian Melio, but it's definitely got some potent ability to snowball and win that lane super easily.
Is that also a ADC support?
Yeah,
Down there?
yeah, Nami support and Kaisa ADC.
Explain to me what Nami's ult does exactly.
Pushes a wave, gives allies movement speed and I think a little bit of shielding, but it also knocks up the enemy team and slows them also as well.
So kind of like a mix between Harbor's High Tide and like a Breach ult.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So for those Valorant players, probably none of them in the chat, but if you were, that would be my layman's explanation for that. There's like the Akali ban for the side of UNI and Michigan Tech banning Cho'Gath, if that's how you pronounce it, and Aurora.
Interesting picks. Aurora is a control mage, also can also be an assassin depending on how a person's playstyle is.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good ban for this. It's a very squishy team for Michigan Tech, so Aurora could take over the game if given, and Cho'Gath is because we don't have any tank killers as of now, and he's a hard scaling tank.
Yeah. So not wanting to get stuck in a situation with that. The Uni picking or banning Akali as well. I know Akali was giving us a lot of trouble as an, I believe, assassin during the
Mm-hmm.
OSU game, just really getting in our back lines there, picking people off, as well as that Talia?
Talia.
Talia. Every single time, man.
It's all good.
So why do you think they're banning into those?
Um, it looks like we're going for more of a dive, like fight the back line first comp. So Akali is a great pick for Michigan Tech here for the mid lane to just get rid of that Kaisa and maybe Nami.
Yeah.
And then Talia is also more of a control mage, keeps that space. Her ult is a big wall that comes through the map,
Yeah.
and just stops people from being able to cross over and use their abilities.
Yeah. Zach and Lee Sin here picked for both sides.
Lee Sin, of course, was picked first because Zach is a nice counter for Lee Sin. Lee Sin relies on just like not being CC'd because he does deal a lot of burst damage, but also can't sustain himself a bit.
Yeah.
But he's more of a team player, and if you separate him from his team, then it could mean bad stuff for Michigan Tech.
Yeah. I don't know why, but Zach's profile picture looks AI generated. Do better, Riot.
You look AI generated.
Unlucky. Looks like it's going to be the Galio pick here for Michigan Tech. Galio, we have seen them play it before. I think it was in their first match that they did, and then the Nico pick there for Uni. I've not seen Nico played before, and so I'm unfamiliar with what they do as well as Galio. So you mind giving us a brief overview there?
So Galio is a great counter to all these picks on Uni side. Galio, of course, is a mage tank, so he takes less damage from mage type or magic defenders.
Yeah.
So, like for example, Nico, Zach, Nami, and a little bit of Kaisa all do magic damage. So the more magic resist or less damage he'll take, is the longer you can survive. And he has great crowd control to get rid of that Kaisa.
Yeah. What does his ult do?
So it's almost a map wide.
Oh, is that the one where you jump up and
and you like slam
land
down,
and
yeah,
it does like damage?
and
Okay.
it knocks people up.
Yeah, I have seen that. And then what is explain to me Nico, what
Nico?
her skill set is.
So she has a clone that she can send out. So it's like a trickster character.
Like Yoro.
Yeah,
Yoro.
and she also can shapeshift into any character. She won't have their abilities, but she will look like exactly like them, same health, same all that. So if she walks out of a fog of war coming from the river, could make you think it's a jungle gang coming in, and it's not that.
Yeah, so a little bit of mind games there for the side of you and I, but hopefully won't be too bad. We're getting into the pick and bans here in the in-game client, so we have a little bit of time to answer some questions from the chat. In response to Jack, the black-haired man on the left is John. I'm sure that question was asked very seriously. And then we have here, so if you had to be one character from any PvP game to be on your side when the world is ending, who would you want by your side?
That's tough. I would want the guy from Doom.
Yeah, the Doom guy.
Yeah, Doom
I think
guy.
that's literally his name.
I think so.
I don't know who would I want. I mean, I like Steve. Steve's pretty cool.
Like from Minecraft?
No. Yes, from Minecraft.
That's a weird pick. I'm not gonna
Nah,
lie.
but like he can carry like millions of tons of gold. Like think about that. Like he could just like pick things up and put them in his pockets.
Bro, I could do the exact same thing, bro.
Yeah, but like he has bigger pockets. Or the Terrarian. I like the Terrarian.
I think you're the first ever person to say that, by the way. Like in a original sentence there.
Unlucky. I don't know. I don't play that many games. I mean, if I want a companionship, then Viper from Valorant. But if the world's ending, I'm not exactly sure that would be good for long-term survivability. I like Cooper from Titanfall as good as his answer. I never finished the campaign, but I know that it's really, really good. Let's see. Yeah, Keegan wants you to know that you get to go on family vacations now, or that they get to go on family vacations now.
I'm not excited for that. I'm gonna be honest.
Unlucky. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Favorite dinosaur? I'd say a Velociraptor. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Especially from the movie Velocipaster. Underrated movie.
Yeah, I probably have to agree with you on that one. Um, anything else happening here? So no other questions we can read out on broadcast, and so thank you guys for those. Always fun to give us something to do and read through that isn't trying to figure out stuff that is happening on campus here. Almost through all the pick and bans here in the in-game client, so just going to be a couple minutes after that for spectator delay before we get you guys right into the action. We do have right now, it looks like, is that 61 views on the YouTube stream. So just a big shout out to you guys and thank you for making this, I think, one of the most viewed league broadcasts we have had. That's the biggest number that I've seen when I look over there while I'm casting, at least. So just a little reminder to you guys, if you aren't already and you do want to stay up to date with what is happening with MTU and MTU Esports, make sure if you're watching on Twitch, drop us a follow. If you're on YouTube, give us a like and a thumbs up on the broadcast. Drop a comment down below. Let us know who your guys' MVP was of the match one. Would also love to see that in chat for who your guys' favorite player was, what you think your favorite play was. So pretty interesting. Very very questionable stuff being read out in chat here. Like we said, please keep it a little bit more appropriate.
We
but
got Keegan asking if this is a first-person gun game. It is not a
yeah,
first-person gun game.
this is a little known gem called League of Legends.
Yeah.
You might know it because it was created and it was inspired by the hit Netflix series Arcane.
Oh, yeah.
Because Riot, like we had said, animation company first, baby. Things I'm looking for here as we head up into this second map here, waiting for spectator delay here for about 3 minutes, and we'll get you guys into the action. I am looking for, like I had said, Echo Sunless to just keep in mind that, tamper that aggression down a little bit. I'm looking for Michigan Tech, play a little bit more closer together. Like you had said, we have really good synergy there with that Milio and Lucian in that bot lane, but also having good synergy out of the Kaisa and Namiya in that bot lane. So I think it's going to be very important for Michigan Tech, for Cran and Kraft to play together in that bottom lane, make sure that they're going hand in hand no matter where they're going around the map, just to ensure that they don't get caught out. I'm not well versed enough in League to know exactly what kind of combos there's going to be if they're stuck in a 2v1, but just knowing that they do have good synergy down there, making sure that we don't put ourselves in a position where we're offering up our lives for no reason. Other than that, I think Michigan Tech just needing to play their game. We know how good all of our people are on these different agents. We know how good Music Tabs is on that Mordekaiser. Just, take smart team fights, get control of objectives, just, play League like how you're supposed to play League. So should have hopefully a good game coming for you guys here. Just 2 minutes until we're into the action here. Anything else? Let's see. Who can eat more hot dogs in a minute?
Not me.
No, it would definitely be you.
No.
I weigh 138. Forget that. There's no mass.
No, I'm actually losing weight right now, so
That's good.
I'd eat less than you. So.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
How many meals did you have today?
2.
Yeah, you lost.
Yeah, okay.
I had 1. I ate dinner.
When did this become a competition?
As soon as he asked us who can eat more hot dogs in a minute.
That's true.
And we're both trying to lose.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And, Goodish says, John's my BFF. I got it like that. That is just not true. I would say Seth's my BFF. So
yeah, you and Seth have some great synergy. I was over there the other day. So,
unfortunately, I live with Seth, so
yeah.
I feel like I would be more in line with Seth.
Yeah. What do you think in response to Jack's question?
Jax, is John single? Yes, I am single.
Good to know. Let's see here. Goodish, the Val Goodish premiere, you misspelled premiere, aired at 1,000 views. So, top 10 things that are not true.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the spirit, right? In order to get to some place, if you want to become a good Valorant player one day, the first step to getting there, to maybe even being able to be on the team if you want it to be, is believing in yourself. Having the motivation to continue grinding. I know last time, was he silver?
I think so. Maybe bronze.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So, already on the up and up, just making sure you put in that time commitment. I'm sure John is here, considering you do talk to him if you had any questions on how to rank up, stuff like that. So it's good to see, though. Good to see that, there are other people interested in the game. Good to see people are interested in grinding and stuff like that. Let's see. I think is that your Jean Jernigan? Is that your...
Oh, yeah, that's my mother.
Okay, she said the MVP were the commentators, so appreciate the sentiment. Unfortunately, if I ever was stuck in a league game, I would not be the MVP because I am very bad at a game that I've never played before. But we appreciate that you guys appreciate what we are doing out here. Hopefully we're not yapping too much for your guys' liking. So who can swim faster? Probably me. I did swim for a long time. Who can jump higher on a pogo stick? Probably John. Lions 14, Bucks 0. Let's
That's
go,
nice.
baby. That's exactly what I want to hear. So getting you guys into the action here. Looks like we are going to be spawning in here in Michigan Tech. As we had talked about, Michigan Tech is going to be on the red team this time, with you and I being on the blue team. So welcome to Summoner's Rift. I do not need to be reading out the introduction text. My apologies, everybody here. So Michigan Tech, not going for an early invade, but it looks like you and I wanted to take a page out of Michigan Tech's book, wanting to go for this invade here. So all 5 of them together, wanting to potentially do some early pressure. It looks like Nug is going to be realizing that, but going to be getting away pretty easy. And also not having to invest his flash there. So already one step ahead out of the opening for Michigan Tech this game compared to what you and I had to do last game. So still going to have that up. Looks like it's going to be 3 people for the side. Jump, jump, jump. 3 people for the side of you and I here. Grouping up. Okay, no, just going to be leaving. Looks like it's that Nico in that mid lane there. So, and the, your normal Kasai and Nami just going down to that bottom lane position there.
Wait, say it again.
No, you say it first and then I'll say it.
I asked first, but I know what you said. So
Kasai? No, how do I pronounce it?
Kaisa.
Kaisa.
There you
Okay.
So
Unlucky.
Azir.
Azir?
say how you been saying it.
Azir?
No, you say Avir, bro.
Oh, Avir. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because Music Tabs is trying to shut down Muffin Trooper in the top lane here. Have HP on both of them. Oh, a good hit there from Music Tabs. Muffin Trooper actually backing off, potentially wanting to go for some sort of punish or just wanting to get this minion XP, but it's not going to matter because Music Tabs, okay, both of them on 3 bars here. A miss from our Mordekaiser, so unlikely miss there from him, but a little bit of action here in the bottom lane. No, we're going to be swapping back up to the top lane here. So can you explain to me why Muffin Trooper feels confident to pressure Mordekaiser even when he's lower HP?
To be less harsh, it's not a good idea. Like quite literally the worst idea you can do ever.
Skill issue then.
Yeah.
Ooh, good hit there from Music Tabs. So Muffin Trooper having to back off a little bit.
Great poke from bot lane there.
Yeah. Crafter and Cran, the power duo there in the bottom lane. Ooh, a miss from Sunless. Actually, no, that's not what that ability does. So, good poke here. Still just, everybody biding their time. Nobody exactly going in for a massive fight except in this top lane here. Looks like a good hit there from Music Tabs. A little bit of fight here. Ooh, but Muffin Trooper going in. Music Tabs is down to 2 bars, but also the same for Muffin Trooper here. Getting pushed off of his tower. A little bit of bleeding damage there. And it's going to be the first blood for the Mordekaiser in the top lane. Music Tabs once again showing that he is not to be trifled with, I guess, or with. I suppose that you and I are not exactly getting the memo there. Maybe a little bit of tilt going just for trying to secure that kill early, but unfortunately going to be sent back to base. So gonna have to wait that respawn timer out. Luckily, they are short early on in this game. Ooh, Echo here going in for a little bit of damage here onto the Nico for you and I. Not exactly wanting to go for the tower drive, but going to be backing up a little bit there for the side of Michigan Tech. So slight gold lead for us here. What is that bubble?
Which one? The one that is
following Craftinator around.
It's a nice little.
That's Cran's character.
It's one of Cran's abilities. It increases the auto range or like.
Ooh, good snipe there from Craft onto Biohazard.
Clean.
Yeah. A little bit of a engage here from Daily Llama, so that Craftinator going to be taken down as well. So this is going to be Cran and Nug, however, the jungle and your carry or support here for Michigan Tech showing up here, trying to get that damage onto the Nami or not? Yes, Nami. Yes, Nami.
Kaisa. That was Kaisa that got killed.
Unlucky. For the side up, and this is going to be a knock up here. Music Tabs going to be brought down to a sliver of HP, but Muffin Trooper also going to be super low. A flash here from Music Tabs to get that kill. I'm not exactly sure what you and I was doing there. Muffin Trooper potentially forgetting for a moment that he does have damaging abilities in his skill set, but it's not going to matter because Michigan Tech going to be now with the 4-1 kill lead, as well as that feat of warfare secured for the side of Michigan Tech. So a good start for us, exactly what we wanted to see, and unfortunately for you and I, a little bit of the last game's repetitions coming to fruition here.
Yeah, that was a questionable choice by Muffin Trooper there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the
especially dying early already to Music Tabs. This snowball is looking pretty big right now.
Yeah, so Sunless going to be diving here onto the Nico for the side of you and I. I don't know why I keep saying that, because they are only playing different characters. But, you know, a little bit of something to spell the void there while commentating. Good little ability hit there from Sunless. Going to be leaving that Nico on 4 bars. So Sunless potentially looking for a tower dive here if that Nico does not back up. I'm not exactly sure how far she wants to extend before she's gone too far. I do want to point out here, there is the jungle and the Nico here for the side of Michigan Tech, trying to get a gank here onto Sunless in that mid lane. Nico still going to be low, but a good hit there from Sunless, going to be brought down to 4 bars, though, backing up into the safety of those minions. So not exactly anything going to come to fruition there from that hit, or that attempted gank there from the side of UNI, but is going to force Michigan Tech back to their tower here. But Muffin Trooper and Music Tabs once again brawling in this top lane. Music Tabs and Muffin Trooper, I guess, having kind of a vendetta, but it doesn't matter because now we're in the bottom lane. That is huge damage in the bottom lane there from the side of Michigan Tech, but Music Tab's also in the top lane. Please, spectator camera, stop switching between different people. I need to commentate on what is happening. Some this here, a little bit of a 2v1 going in here. A good knock up there on the side of UNI, but it's not going to matter because Nugtard has been taking down the Nico here on the side of UNI. Sunless and Nugtard both at a sliver of HP, but it is not going to matter because we have secured that kill. Sunless also going to be slaying the Daily Llama there. It looks like in the I'm not exactly sure where that came in because I did not see those people on my screen, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be a good hit here from Music Tab. Music Tab's going to be low, though, healing just a little bit of HP, a little bit of a good hit there. Muffin Trooper once again trying to get back. Is that the ult there?
Yeah,
From Mordekaiser? Yep, just ooh, a sliver of HP. Is he going to be able to secure that kill? That would be a tower dive I've ever seen one, but not having that flash available, still half of the way on that cooldown, unable to dive and secure that kill. But that is going to force us back.
They are lining up for a tower dive onto the top lane. Sunless is moving in from around back.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a flank here. Muffin Trooper going to be brought down to a sliver of HP. He is just stuck. Michigan Tech having their prey cornered. He does not know what to do. This is unfortunate. Ooh, big damage on the Sunless, though, from the... How are we not getting this kill? Michigan Tech potentially opting for a little bit of BM? Or just not exactly
Just
knowing
not
how to
thinking
get that kill. Not exactly thinking it through when it comes to getting that little sliver of damage there on the Muffin Trooper, asking himself, how the heck am I alive? But this is going to be Michigan Tech also slaying the Cloud Drake while all of that was happening. Apologies for missing that, ladies and gentlemen, but things are happening a little bit too fast for my uneducated league brain to catch up during a lot of all of this. But we'll try to do the best that we can here. So Sunless still in that mid lane, wanting to do a little bit of the poke, a little bit of an engage there. Some sort of thing is happening. A little bit of damage there onto the Nico. We're going to be backing up with that clone spawn. Looks like that was not an ult. Not exactly sure what that ability does. So it looks like he has like 2 missiles that come up from the side, do damage if they connect there. What is that lingering after effect there in that mid lane?
Yeah, that's just a nice little tornado that stays. It just does lingering damage. It also really devastating for tanks because it does max health damage. So the more health you have, the more
it
damage it
scales
does.
with how much damage you have.
Yeah.
I see. So a little bit of a top lane XP advantage here for us. Music Tabs, or Sunless, going to be going in here. It's going to be a 2v1, though. Daily Llama and Jinx both going to be rotating in. Is his name Zach?
Yes, Zach.
Zach, okay. So still a little bit of fighting here in the top lane. Good Mordekaiser pull there. And he's just bullying him. It's going to be brought down to half HP now. Music Tab's wanting to go for the dive once again. Not exactly sure what the pathing is here for Muffin Trooper. Not exactly sure why he's also not rotating off, but not going to come to fruition there. The kill not going to be coming in for the hands of Michigan Tech. A little bit of a, let's see, 2v1 here in the bottom lane because it looks like our, what is that guy's name?
Lucian?
Yeah, Lucian. Oh yeah, Lucian. I remember that devastating us in one of the games we played recently. But it looks like our support had channeled back to base there after doing a little bit of work. Alone for a little bit here. Muffin Trooper just wanted to push Music Tabs off of the tower here. Good pull though from the Mordekaiser there. What is that like rock thing on the ground?
So yeah, it's a nice little pillar that comes up after he slams this hammer on the ground. And it's usually comboed with his E ability, which is dash, and if it hits any line of obstacle before it ends, it will knock anybody up around him.
So good little CC there, just being able to give them a moment where they can't really fight back. So a little bit of a missed pull there, a little bit of a missed, not exactly sure what that overhead is. I just know it does damage from Mordekaiser, but not exactly that worried. We still have that health advantage in that top lane. A little bit of a, you can see Sunless here wanting to go in for the fight a little bit, just pushing that Nico back towards their tower. So I'm still that level advantage in that top lane, as well as Okay, there we go. Cran going to be hitting level 6, so we still do have that 1 level advantage here on our bot lane. Interestingly enough, so potentially wanting a little bit of damage here. You can see the bottom lane, Kaisa.
Yeah.
Kasai? Kaisa.
No,
Kaisa.
Kaisa.
Going to be taken down a little bit. Muffin Trooper once again getting Mordekaiser ulted though. Music Tabs. Ooh, Music Tab is going to be shutting down the Ornn there once again. Potentially turning into a little bit of Keyboard Warrior on Reddit. Maybe later nerf Mordekaiser. It's too hard. I see a lot of that criticism from people when they die in video games. But a little bit of a 3v3 going on here in the bottom lane. Nug going to be dashing onto Cran here. So lower HP on the side of UNI here as Music Tabs continues to chip away at that top, or that tier 1 turret in the top lane. So potentially gearing up for a little bit more of a bigger fight here. Some ability just came out from Zach there, trying to dive in here. Engage from Nugtart, going to be pulling Diddy Llama back towards them. That's going to be Craftnader taking down Diddy Llama. That Zach going to be going down. This is going to be 3 members of UNI here. A Nugtart once again going to be dashing towards taking down the Nami there for the side of UNI. Music Tab's going to be knocked up here by Muffin Trooper. Both of them, missed ability there from Music Tabs. Now on the defensive. A good dodge though from whatever that ability was. That the Ornn ult?
No, that
I see Ornn did just use their ult,
yeah.
but not able to come to fruition because of it. Craftnader going to be sniping the Kasai there for the side of UNI. And this is all 3 members of Michigan Tech now grouping up in that bottom lane. A little bit of lower HP, but that was a good fight there in that bottom lane. Just not able to get any of that damage there on the side of UNI if they needed to. So not exactly that bad. And this is Sunless going to be actually taking down Muffin Trooper in the top lane. Our mid lane there, our Pantheon for Michigan Tech actually going to be moving up to help with that 2v1 in the top lane. So is that a conventional thing, or is that like a we're steamrolling the heck out of you? Let's just do what we're going to do.
What, Galio coming up to the...
Yeah.
That's a great play, especially since Music Tabs was on a reset timer. You don't want Ornn to push out that wave and get money where he shouldn't be deserving to get money.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a great play.
Reset timer. Is that like his abilities are on cooldown, you mean?
No, he's Music Tab's on a reset timer, meaning he's going back to base, buying some items.
Channeling.
But like, because they haven't died yet, so makes it easier to keep the light wave nice and fresh. And
yeah. So it looks like Michigan Tech now wanting to get ready for this all. It's going to be Nug, however, diving onto the Zac there. There's a big pentagram on the ground.
Galio ult coming in.
Yeah, Galio ult. So that's going to be Sunless rotating in there. And
Zac gets caught out. And
yeah, I don't exactly know where he went, what that ability was.
So it's like when he every like 5 minutes, I think he gets an ability that once he reaches 0 health, he splits off into 4, and if one of his blobs reaches the middle, he gets revived. More blobs that reach the middle, the more health he'll have when he comes back.
So potentially useful in a team fight, but not when you're stuck in a
not
2v1 with them sitting over them. So that is going to be Michigan Tech there, now getting the Chemtech Drake. So as you had mentioned, Chemtech Drake giving more, I'm forgetting again. Yes, tenacity. So ability to resist more.
Yeah, ability to resist CC.
Yeah, so less time stuck in enchant, stuff like that. That is going to be a big, I can see you laughing. What happened? Was that was an Ornn ult?
So it was an Ornn ult, but he completely whiffed the Mordekaiser. I think he was trying to go for the wave.
Big kills there
Great
from our
double kill
Lucian
from,
onto their
Kraft.
Kasai. Yeah. So he was trying to hit the ult and the Mordekaiser, but Mordekaiser was too far away for it to have any real value, is what I see.
Unless he was intentionally trying to Ornn ult the wave and try to clear it.
Is that a intelligent play, or is that like I'm out of ideas play?
That's I need money and I have nothing left to get money from.
I see. Yeah, so Michigan Tech here going to be taking down that tier 1 turret in the bottom lane. I believe that is going to be, I believe we'd already secured Boots buff because of the objectives there with when we got that second Drake online, but that is going to be that third objective secured if it just wasn't enough for us here. So not exactly too much else going on. Actually, no, as I say that, we're going to have the 2v1 onto the side of Michigan Tech. 3v1 onto Michigan Tech? No, 2v1. So that is going to be Music Tabs finally shut down in the top lane. But our jungler, Nug, actually coming up here, wanting to do a little bit of a punish onto the 2 that were stuck there. Potentially not that smart of a play. No. Daily Llama can be brought down to a very low amount of HP. You can see how much Nug wants to chase, get this kill onto him. Just 1 HP, and that is going to be Nug dominating now. Potentially looking for the double kill. Oh, no. It is going to be that Nico being able to, get that final follow-up damage there. So almost a really good 2v1 there from the side of Nug, but just going to be traded out there. So that is going to be a 2v1 overall in the favor of UNI, but they are still down 3-16. So I don't think Michigan Tech is going to be sweating it that much. I think that was potentially just a little bit of an overheat there from our jungle, feeling themselves a little bit, considering how far they are up in the game right now. But
And to be honest, I think that fight in general was just very unnecessary. The Mordekaiser seemed to have enough health to honestly leave the fight, and especially because we're ahead by such a wide margin of gold.
yeah.
Giving them these type of kills are just not worth it, and can lead to a snowball leading into UNI's favor.
Yeah, so exactly what I talked about here with what I was I wouldn't say I'm worried right now, but what I talked about before this game is not letting that excitement get to your head when you're doing it, because like you feel unstoppable, and then okay, you make one mistake, and then the next person's like, okay, well, I'm on like a 6-kill lead, I'm gonna go for a 2v1. Doesn't work out, like you said, starting that snowball. But Michigan Tech actually just proving that they can recover from that pretty easily. It's gonna be red team, Michigan Tech getting that Rift Herald online. So Rift Herald, once again, that big monster you can summon that charges into the tower, which does a massive amount of damage. Also looks like Michigan Tech had destroyed, I believe that was
The top tier one.
yeah, top tier 1 turret.
And they also did destroy the top
mid tier 1 turret as well. Yeah. So good damage there from the side of Michigan Tech. Big fight here coming in. Looks like 3 members of Michigan Tech. I have no clue what's going on, but Daily Llama going to be knocked up in the air. It's going to be the dash in from 3 members, 4 members of UTI here. Nami going to be shutting down Armilio. 3v4 here. No, it's going to be a back off from UNI. Do they want to continue fighting this? 4v3 currently here in the top lane. Good pull from the Mordekaiser there onto, I believe, was that Minions? But no, just going to be backing off. So not opting to go exactly for that engage unless you can see how much Craftinator, good poke damage there from our Lucian. A good music. Muffin Trooper going to be going over the wall there. Daily Llama ult's going to be coming in from the top. It's a 2v2 here in that mid lane now. Nugtart going to be slaying Muffin Trooper. Orn going to be going down there. Nug just chasing. Is going to be that double kill there. Craftinator and Nug continuing, wanting to turn this into a 3k. Nico running away from Craftinator. Nug also going to be channeling here onto the Nami. It's going to be engage here from Sunless. Going to be a 3v1 Mordekaiser, Sunless, and Nug. And this is Nugtart on a killing spree onto that Nami. Just unable to get out, unable to escape, unable to do anything. As Michigan Tech turns a bad situation into a 4-person respawn timer waiting for the side of UNI. And I don't know exactly what that was. It felt like UNI secured the advantage. Michigan Tech backed off. But all that seemed to be on that engage there from Orn. Muffin Trooper just... I don't know exactly what that engage was, but he just jumped over the wall into a 3v1 and felt like his team had to come and back him up. It is going to be a good knock-up though from Muffin Trooper, though potentially looking for a little bit of redemption there. It is going to be backing off a little bit. 2v2 here in the top lane. Mordekaiser going to be running away. Music Tabs and Nug not wanting to overextend here. Muffin Trooper wanting to continue fighting up. Perhaps, I don't know if it's a little bit of tilt or what, because they do... Oh, no, he wants to pivot over into this 2v1, but it's going to quickly turn into a 3v2 as Nug and Music Tabs rotate over here. So now we have our support, jungle, and top lane all running together there, all rotated up into that top lane. Forgive my jumbled casting there. I really did not have a clue what was going on, as there was a lot of abilities there and not a lot of time for my brain to process them, because I don't know what a lot of them do. But this is Michigan Tech, looks like, looking for that Ocean Drake. So if they do manage to get this on, it is Ocean Soul this game. And if they do manage to get that Drake, they will be 1 away from obtaining Ocean Soul. This is a 3v1 onto our Sun this year, onto Galio in that mid lane here. Actually turning into a 3v2 as our Mordekaiser rotates in from the top lane here. Michigan Tech going to be getting the Ocean Drake. Attempted steal from the Nico there, but not going to come into fruition. This is the 2v1 onto the Nico here from the side of Michigan Tech, and it is going to be Craftinator or Lucian just shutting down the Nico there for the side of UNI. So now a... What is this? 17 kill lead for the side of Michigan Tech. Pretty big, one could say. A little bit of a snowball here, a little bit of a absolute domination coming up from Michigan Tech so far. That Nico's still going to be on that 15-second respawn timer. Kran going to be... I don't know what was going on there. Orn maybe wanting to go for a 2v1 in the bottom lane here. And Music Tabs also trying his hand at a 3v1 there in that mid lane there. So that is going to be tier 2 turret destroyed for the side of Michigan Tech. Ornal coming in is going to connect onto one, it looks like, but not the other. And Muffin Trooper just going to be shut down as he tries to walk away. Not exactly sure what the thought process was there. Music Tabs also going to be slaying the Kasai there. Sunless going to be taking down the Zach, and this is just Michigan Tech putting their foot on the corpse of UNI, it really appears. With only 2 left alive, shortest respawn timers at the 15 seconds here. It's going to be Tier 2 mid lane turret destroyed. And Michigan Tech probably going to be poking into some of these bases here. Want to take down some of these Tier 3 turrets as well as some of these inhibitors here. So, pretty good for Michigan Tech, or hell, even better than pretty good. This is a very good match so far from the side of them. It is going to be that blue turret destroyed, Tier 3 turret from the mid lane, going to be falling there for the side of Michigan Tech. And this is just continued domination from the side of Michigan Tech. It really feels like UNI cannot get anything done. And as much as I hate to call people out, it really feels like Muffin Trooper, the Orin for the side of UNI, is just not having a good game mentally right now. So much like inting into 2v1s, 3v1s. We saw there in that bot lane, we saw his Orange just for some reason deciding to go in against Lucian Emilio in that bottom lane and just not get anything out of it. Just a 2v1 for no apparent reason other than just wanting to get the game over with quicker, it kind of feels like.
Yeah. Totally, I completely agree with that. Muffin Trooper, it seems like this UNI hasn't really studied the gameplay mechanics for what characters have certain power spikes at what time, and we're trying to fight a Mordekaiser at level 3. It's just not a smart idea.
Yeah, not exactly the smartest thing coming out there. Sunless are going to be stuck in a 2v1, but I'm not, or 3v1, it's I should say, but trying to get out here, going to be activating an ability there. Does still have flash up. Okay.
It's a 4v1, no?
Yeah, 4v1, but just going to be running away, rotating into the rest of the team. They're going to be going in, not able to get anything out of it. That Ornal, ooh, good Ornal connection, though, I believe, onto all 5 of them there. But good heals coming in from Kran. Going to be Crafter taking on the Orn. Muffin Trooper once again showing why he should probably not be playing this character, because that, even with the Ornal value there, just unable to get anything out of it as well. Music Tab's in a 2v1 here, stuck in Blue's base, turning into a 3v2 for the side of Michigan Tech here. Is it going to be Music Tab taking down the Kasai for the side of UNI, and this is now just the Nico going to be trying to run away. Craftinator going to be, hitting that skill shot, going to be taking them down. Pantheon ults coming in here from the side of Sunless. A little bit of BM just ulting straight into the base of UNI here. And this is going to be Michigan Tech looking for the death blow onto the side of UNI. And as much as I hate to say it, as much of a fight that they've put up, it is going to be nothing but a whimper escaping the lips of UNI as their Nexus is on the brink of getting destroyed. Michigan Tech getting those last couple courtesy kills onto the side here, making sure that we, get all those kills, as many as we can. Oh, and this is just painful to watch. Just none of them. They are farming in their base. The BM is insane from the side of Michigan Tech here. And that is going to be the game done in the least professional fashion that we could have. Just sitting in the base, farming up every single kill as it comes online, making sure that we stat pad. And hey, as bad as it feels for you and I, you cannot say that it was undeserved from the side of our Huskies, because that was a hell of a stomping.
That was kind of hard to watch, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But it was also great to watch. I just liked watching the Michigan Tech domination come forth.
We were definitely doing a lot of damage there onto the side of them there. That was just, I don't even really have a MVP, I'd say, of who I thought did the best job, because it felt like no matter what situation you would put them in, Michigan Tech was just stomping them every single moment. I suppose if I had to, because here's my issue with coming up with an MVP, right? My mind leans towards Music Tabs on the Mordekaiser because he was shutting down that top lane so hard, but I feel like also half the reason that was happening is because there was, that thing people do in Valorant when you leave the game, we don't want to go AFK, so you put a weight on your W key, so you just keep running forwards. That's what I felt like the gameplay from their Ornn there in the top lane was like, because no matter what the situation was, he was just running straight into our Mordekaiser, offering his life up, and then dying. Yeah. And so I have a hard time coming out with a like an MVP pick there. I think Sunless also did a really good job in that mid lane, but we weren't really focused on him that much. We had a lot of good Lucian snipes. Kran's support was great as always. I'm not well versed enough to weed through the details, get you an MVP. So who do you think was the MVP for that round?
That round, I'd honestly have to say Nug was the MVP for this round, because just the all-around CC, paying attention to all the lanes, and of course just the overall domination. But watching Kraft get that quadra kill at the end of the game, just diving the fountain, was very awesome to watch.
Yeah, so very good plays from all of our Michigan Tech students there. or athletes, I should say, we will be having a player interview. So we are going to be waiting as somebody comes up there. It looks like we do have somebody out in the hall waiting for us. So we will go to a brief intermission while we get them set up, get them ready. We'll be back with you guys very shortly. Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining us while we got things situated for that. So with me, I have Music Tabs, our goated top lane. And so we have a couple questions for you just to answer, get your thought process on the game today, how you guys are feeling. So just going to start off, you guys are now on a 3-game win streak. After you guys had lost to OSU, you guys have been bringing it back. How have you guys been feeling? How's the energy considering that you guys are kind of on a roll?
Feels like a hot streak. It feels like the rest of our schedule looks pretty strong for us as well. Think we can continue it to the end of the round robin and into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely going to be rooting for you guys. So on that note, why did you guys choose to run the Champ C running your games today? There were some common picks that I saw. Like I know I have seen you guys with Galio before. Definitely seeing your Mordekaiser before. Was it Braum?
Braum,
Yeah, Braum. Eric kept playing Braum that first map. But there also were some new stuff that I hadn't really seen. So what was your overall thought process during the pick and bans today?
Well, we noticed that teams normally ban out a lot of Echoes champions, but they weren't doing it this time. So it allowed him to play the Yone, which he rarely gets to play because it's constantly banned on 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
We got early tempo on the jungle with Wukong into Skarner because Skarner is a relatively slow clear versus Wukong is strong. We really like our Cog Braum pairing. It's very strong. You're allowed to get that range stun.
Yeah.
And then game 2, well, the Gallia pick was a really important late game pick or late draft pick because we saw they had 4 AP. Nothing could kill the Gallia, so we just locked it in. Just get the MR items. He's unkillable.
Yeah.
And then he stole my one trick Orin, which was sad. But he didn't ban the Mordekaiser, and it's a winnable matchup for Orin. But I personally hate it because it's just so annoying. You have to play very well on Orin to match admittedly Mordekaiser. So it's very hard for him to play.
Yeah.
We also locked the super aggressive bot lane game 2. We locked Lucian Milio. They could just early game abuse them. Couldn't do anything into that.
The snipes there from the Lucian were really good. A lot of good kills there coming off of that.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of the Yone pick, there was that play in the first match, which, I mean, you guys were already snowballing, obviously. It was great to watch. But what I think kind of won you guys the game was when Echo, Sunless for you guys, had that 2v1 on Yone in the bottom lane. I believe he secured 1 kill and the other one, whimpered back to base on very low health, and that let you guys go for a 4v3 in the top lane, just kind of steamroll, get that tier 2 and I think tier 3 turrets down, as well as those inhibitors. Was that a play that you guys had cooked up previously, or was that just a spur of the moment, in team comms, oh, I have 2 on me here? And what is your guys' kind of thought process behind formulating that? What does it look like from your guys' side, without spilling too much, obviously, how you guys decide, okay, we're gonna group up, go over a 4v3, stuff like that?
Yeah, so in draft, we knew that unless Renekton got ahead, they would have no side lane pressure, so they would have to send 2 or 3 to just match 1 person. So when we saw 2 on Echo, we just instant committed, cross map, get the turrets, get a dive,
Yeah, that was really cool to watch. And then you were our map 2 MVP on that Mordekaiser. I just wanted to ask about, is Mordekaiser kind of like a comfort pick for you? Because I know it was 2 weeks ago you had that massive 1v3 top lane as Mordekaiser, which I am still glazing on cast till this day because that was really cool to see because I've never played League and I'm there's a lot of stuff happening. We got a lot of kills. But we have seen, we did see your Mordekaiser, I think, come into a lot of fruition here, especially as you talked about that top lane matchup against the Ornn. I think it was he fed you twice in a row in the top lane, the first couple of minutes. And it just, you look like you were absolutely frying on there. So I just wanted to ask, how do you feel on Mordekaiser? And is this something that other teams should definitely be watching out for as you guys move further into round robin?
Mordekaiser is really strong because he is just a stat stick. And, if you try to get too fancy into him, he'll just, whack that all down, just bonk you with a stick and kill you. He's also just really good in case, I want to isolate a jungle so that we can get our jungler to smite objective with no contest.
Yeah.
Or just, one-shot an ADC for fun.
Yeah. Just Mordekaiser things.
Yeah, just Mordekaiser things.
Stuff like that. Yeah, so awesome. Congrats on being a round 2 MVP there. Just before we end it off here, is there anybody else you want to thank, give a shout out to? Yeah.
I think Nug. He bails me out of too many bad situations.
Yeah, he is the GOAT. I've seen a lot of good 2v1s there in that top lane, a lot of good recoveries. Even if you get caught out, he's coming up, securing that trade pick, stuff like that. So just want to give a thank you then to everybody watching there. Shout out to our sponsors, Pepsi, Houghton for Rent, University Images. As always, If you guys want to continue supporting our Huskies, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, drop a follow on Twitch, leave us a comment, let us know in chat who your favorite player was. We had a very active chat today. That was really cool to see all the people coming in there. I can see right now 86 views on the YouTube analytics for the stream. And so that is really cool to see, seeing more people come and be supportive of Michigan Tech Esports. So just a massive shout out to all of you guys watching at home, and thank you for supporting what we are doing. Have a good night. I've been Aiden. I was casting with John.